Welcome to the Creative Play and Podcast Network. Join us as we review our favorite RPGs, collectible card games, MMOs, video games, PC games, and bring up interesting topics and things that we'd like to share with everyone. Sit back and enjoy the show.
Hi, this is Kellie, aka Trixie from Ragnarok and Roll, a Scion to Ragnarok story, and Tilda Wimblewick from D&D Journey of the 5th Edition. First off, I would just like to say thank you to everyone for listening to our varied adventures, as well as for rating us on iTunes and rpgpodcast.com. If you haven't rated us yet, we would greatly appreciate it if you could. And if you're looking for more ways to support our efforts, we are now on Patreon, a great site where you can help us continue making more podcasts, as well as some special surprises for our patrons. If you can, please look us up at www.patreon.com/cppn. Every little bit helps. And again, thank you for listening.
Hey guys, Jim here at Creative Play and Podcast Network. Just wanted to bring a little something special to you for Valentine's Day. This is The Veil, cyberpunk RPG. We finally got a chance to break into it and give it a read. So we did a little special Valentine's Day episode that's reminiscent to some of my favorite episodes of Ghost in the Machine. Hope you guys enjoy it. Here you go. The Case of the True Love Virus. Da-da-da!
Open face. I will be a sandwich. Your particular jam is built into your playbook. The board assigns you mandatory contracts and fronts you cred in order to get it done, with a timeline always given for completion. Oh, cultish body. How many beefy? I could be Herculean, cultish, or beefy.
Mm-hmm.
Tyrion, Welsh, female, means gentle.
Oh.
Aww. So Tyrion's really gentle.
But it's spelled with an I as opposed to a Y. I think I will go with the name Tellyn, T-E-L-Y, it means harp, because that's what I'm going to play you like.
Okay, empathy one.
Tellyn the empath. Okay. So let's see here. Fluid, as in...
Gender fluid.
Oh, okay.
Good times.
You're amorphous. Yeah. I am a fluid. And...
I do believe the term for that is moist.
Oh. What? There was something that we were doing, and the word wet sounded worse than moist, and I was like, I think that is the first time ever. Yeah.
So what the heck is mixed media wear, display wear, vintage wear? What's vintage wear?
Well,
Like
it's cyberpunk, so what's your opinion of vintage wear?
Well, like iRobot vintage is Converse.
Yeah.
And in Blade Runner, vintage is kind of like a 1940s.
See, that's what I was
noir
thinking.
looking,
Mm-hmm. So the beauty with The Veil is it's super vague and unspecific. As we make your characters, we're basically describing what the world's like.
Ooh.
So for you, if you pick vintage, you tell us what vintage is.
Ooh.
So it could be like, say, classic, 18th century Japanese is vintage. Everything in The Veil is super, super vague because it uses the Apocalypse engine. So basically, when you make your characters, your class is based on a handbook, which is what you got there. Which basically you're going to make your picks.
I want compelling eyes. Holy shit.
Yeah, basically those 2 pages are all the choices for your character.
Oh, okay,
The next 2 sheets are basically reference pages to make your life easier.
Good.
So
Thank you.
it's all about the easy stuff.
Yes.
Play more of this.
The Apocalypse engine is really cool because it's one of those you guys can. For one shots, it's great because you can make a one shot up and come back to it, or just not worry about it ever again after you complete the storyline.
I like that mutant one we played too.
Oh, Mutant Year Zero? We have to do more of that.
I agree.
I know, I just put the books away, and I'm like, I didn't want to put these away because I wanted to get to another session.
I have Monday nights off.
Monday nights.
For
Mutant Year Zero?
oh, that was an interesting game.
Especially since you guys leveled up some and got some more mutancy. Since you beat the rat people.
Wasn't my character's name Gadget or something?
Uh-huh.
Do we need last names or first name is fine?
First name's fine.
Okay. What is my look? Alright.
I don't know. I think I'm going to go for vintage wear just because it sounds cool. Or maybe timeless.
Timeless. 'Cause sometimes fashion's just timeless.
Oh, well, I want to be that, you know.
Alright, so where do we find things like beliefs, or is that whatever we want?
It's whatever you want it to be.
Mm.
There's no actual list. It's pretty much what you want is what you got.
And what's Geary is like Bitcoin, right?
No, Geary is honor.
Oh.
Basically, it's rep or reputation, honor, things like that. You as the honor bound, you're actually in charge of Geary.
Cool.
So
No,
basically, beliefs, you're going to tell everyone what Geary really stands for. Are you going to pick the Japanese honor Bushido code? Or are you going to go with Taoist honor code? So, but pretty much, and on top of that, your character, the honor bound, actually kills people for jacked up honor.
Mm.
Basically, you're the you know, depending on what choices you pick, a really, really interesting or really, really crazy monk.
That sounds amazing. Hi, you are.
I mean, you can even go so far as to say your honor bound is they call themselves paladins. There you go. You know.
No worst paladin ever.
And pretty much everything is going to use 2d6. So what you're going to do is when you make an action, basically it's a lot more freeform. There's no maps needed. It's all mind's eye theater. And you're going to have what's called a move of basically you're wanting something to happen. And you would pick a stat, which basically you'll notice here is emotions. And whatever emotion is embracing what you want to happen, roll 2d6, add that number to it if there's a plus number there, and basically if you hit higher than 10, it happens exactly like you said it was. Like, say you're being confronted by 3 or 4 guys. Okay, the 3 of us kick their asses, and then you roll. If you succeed, that's exactly what happened. You roll a 7 to 9. Exactly that happened, but something happened. It can either be I add in there that you take some damage. You know, yes, you took these guys out, but you got scruffed up. Or, guess what? Someone called the police. Now you guys have to get the hell out of there, type of thing. So some minor complication that's not basically hosing you over. If you get less than a 6, then I take over and tell you all kinds of interesting things that may or may not have happened. As you guys wake up tied up in trunks of cars and, dropped off to the big boss.
Ooh.
So, pretty much, when you're making your character, you're going to want to pick all the choices because it's full of so much choices. Then you've got your stats, which are basically your emotions.
Okay.
Always keep
What's
track.
your jam?
It says I get money for anything I win, pretty much.
I love that abridged version.
So anytime I make a performance or an enforcement, so anytime I beat people up, I get money.
Well, enforcing the Geary.
Oh, okay.
So basically, it's you're making sure people follow through on their honor.
So you can't just beat people up for no reason. You're gonna have like the lady that died and froze to death while stealing from a donation bin.
Yeah, there you go.
In her brand new SUV.
Oh, Cake is attacking the microphone.
I think my jam is I'm going to be a high-powered salesperson. Like I'm that closer that gets, so I get,
Use your empathy to make a sale.
makes high-powered, so like luxury items.
So I could be like, don't talk to the poor. Let me enforce that.
Yeah, when it comes to your beliefs. And if we want, we can say that you guys have one improvement. Basically, you've met each other, you know each other, so that way you can get a little experience to spend if we want. Or do you want to say you're all newbies?
I'm happy to know each other.
Okay. Because what you would do is you'd scratch one of the XP boxes there, and you get to pick one of the choices down in this section, because that's basically how you level up in this game.
Oh, okay.
So you guys basically, you've got a little experience under your belts, you know each other. So what do we want to call the town that we're in? Like Neo Tokyo.
I'm the worst at naming things.
Megatropolis.
Megatropolis? That work?
Yes.
Cake, what are you doing here?
So the
New
beliefs
Cakean.
are...
The beliefs are whatever we want them to be. My first one that I chose for me is gaining power provides protection.
Ooh, that's a good one. After all, that's one nice thing with this game is you can always get for the players reference part is just all the classes. So that way only one person needs the actual book. Everybody else just needs that mini book.
It's awesome.
Ooh, you could change your belief if it's tested and you don't move it.
Well, sometimes you gotta change your belief, you know?
Yes.
And pretty much tags, if you say tags on your character sheet, that's sort of like in Dresden Aspects.
Okay.
I don't know what that means.
Basically, it's like a one-word thing that helps explain something. Like you could say remote, so that the item that has the tag remote, you know that it can be used from a distance. Multi-spectrum, communication, just different little one-word things that you can add to equipment. So if it's like
Fuzzy for cake.
Yes, fuzzy cake. Cake is being spoiled right now, sitting in the middle of the table, getting all the attention.
Oh, he hates it.
He's a happy kitty. Although we may need to move that plastic bag.
I know, he's getting kind of obsessed with that bag.
It
Oh,
makes
I thought it was like a cracker wrapper.
No,
it's a plastic
it's
bag.
it's the plastic bag from Domino's.
And he
Oh.
thinks
Hey,
it
Cake.
makes a delightful sound.
It's going that way.
Pizza crumbs.
He's falling for it.
It's the
He's
crinkle.
following,
The power of the crinkle.
going. And just like that, he's off the table.
So on the states, those are your emotions,
Mhm.
and they...
Pretty much, they'll be used as your bonuses for doing things.
Okay.
So, as you play, let me find the little emotion wheel. Waha! As things get bad, you basically will follow, in your states, will fall further and further from the middle of the circle.
Okay.
So, basically, the closest to the middle of the circle you are, the more vague your emotion is, and more useful, and then things get kind of wonky as you take hits in those stats.
So pluses give you...
Pluses will give you bonus when you roll your dice.
Okay.
And also mean you're tougher in that category.
Okay. So if something would make me sad, but I have a plus to sadness,
Mm-hmm.
then I'm less likely to get sad.
Yeah. Well, you would be, when you take the hit, you're not taking as much.
Okay. And if peaceful is a strong trait for me, I maintain
You keep your cool.
my cool.
Yeah.
Groovy. I think I understand.
Okay, hold it. So,
Basically, the higher the number is, the more you want that emotion to be strong.
okay, so assign +2, +1, plus... So okay, so if I want peaceful to be my highest one, I want to cross out 2 boxes.
No, just put in +2.
+2, okay.
The boxes are when you take hits in that stat.
Okay.
The cake is right off of the bag.
Yeah.
So, if I want to be able to... So, if I want to remain calm,
You want that to be high.
the peaceful to be the highest.
Yes.
Now, if I want to control my anger, do I want that as a 0, or do I want that as a...
You want that as a plus.
As a plus, okay.
Unless you want to be really angry.
No.
You want to be angry?
No.
No?
Mm-hmm.
Wait till you see the weapons that you get on the next page.
I'm excited.
Priest with a freaking machine gun.
What?
Special kind of priest.
Who's the priest?
You.
Oh, I am?
Yeah, the Honorbound are kind of priest-like.
Oh.
All right. And then with our improvement, we get to pick one
of those boxes.
So we have to have 3 beliefs?
Mm-hmm.
My beliefs are everything is for sale for the right price, keep calm and carry on, and everyone is entitled to my opinion.
So for the states, as it says in the book, when a move is triggered, it will ask you to roll. Whenever it says roll, you are always add one of the states unless it's the start of a session move, and it says otherwise. Whenever you add a state, it will be be because in the fiction something happens that triggers a move, and we're going to see how your protagonist feels at that point. So basically, whatever state you're using, you're saying, that's what I'm feeling right now. Next to states are modifiers, which can be negative or positive. Basically, it's the ones you guys are picking. Either way, you apply the number next to the state for a total of the dice to see if it's a miss, a weak hit, or a strong hit. Basically, miss is less than 6 or less, weak hit is 7 or 9, strong hit is 10 plus. In the Veil, the states are your core emotions. The reason for this is to keep the players in character, playing their protagonist and thinking about how their character is feeling when reacting to the world. Why a protagonist is doing something and how it makes them feel is a great way to add another layer of immersion to the world. Roles become less about what the way a character does something, and more how well they do it, and more about how they react to the world, what they're feeling. Based on that, we can create a fiction that feels believable and real because we can picture the protagonist and the emphasizing them and their actions. Just like in real life, the protagonist could be feeling multiple emotions at once, but the game requires the player to choose the strongest core emotion behind the action that triggers a move. Sometimes the action you're doing could be considered an emotion. Maybe you're being sexy, but you're feeling scared. In that case, the core emotion is scared despite what you're trying to portray to others. There are 6 core states: mad, sad, scared, joyful, powerful, and peaceful. From each of these core emotions, almost anything the character is feeling can be extrapolated. A feeling wheel follows the illustration to the point, and is part of the reference sheets along with the basic moves, playbooks, and other handouts. Note that the placement of the core emotions on the wheel do not correlate with one another. The playbook handouts themselves show you what emotions are in opposition to one another in the Veil. This does not. This is purely a tool to help you figure out what your protagonist could be feeling in any given situation. So basically the wheel shows how basically mad breaks off to a bunch of different ones, and then further ones. Like jealousy is actually mad, selfish is mad. And what is the feeling wheel? The feeling wheel is used to keep people in the headspace of their character, yada yada yada. And then emotion spikes. If you look at the side states of the character sheet, there are places to mark bubbles. Each time you roll that state, you mark a bubble in it. These are called emotion spikes. The more you roll that emotion, the more intense that emotion will become for that character in the fiction. When you reach the last checkbox, you change that state temporarily to +1 and all the other ones to -2. In order for the character to get out of the state which they're experiencing a single emotion acutely, there is a special move called Alleviate. Alleviate is a different type of move from the basic moves in terms of how it works, and will be discussed later on, blah, blah, blah. For now, suffice to say that it is a mechanical tool in the game to help people keep track of how intensely they're experiencing the emotions during play. When you continue to experience something, it grows until it is resolved. When you trigger moves and you're in the same state, things are getting more intense for your protagonists. So basically, you don't want to max out your bubbles, because then once it is, that's the only thing you can do is that one thing, and you suck at everything else.
You go Hulk mode.
Yep. And depending on what emotions it's spiking, that's... Oh, go back up. You want to see the spike picture? Sad. The artwork is freaking awesome in this.
I know.
And then, of course, mitigating states. Describe in fiction how the character deals with feeling a certain way is a means to mitigate these emotional spikes in the fiction. For instance, if the protagonist is almost maxed out of their mad state, the player may describe how he became peaceful when rolling the next state, as long as it would make sense for the character in the fiction. If they were doing so, they would add one emotional spike to peaceful and remove one from mad. It's basically you're balancing it out. Whenever a player is describing an emotion that may remove an emotional spike from the opposite state, the player still marks the spike in the state they use, even if it's in an opposite state. You'll know if emotions oppose each other because they're grouped together in the character sheet: mad and peaceful, sad and joyful, powerful and scared, each opposing one another.
Ooh, we get to go Johnny Mnemonic and pick our ones.
And then Alleviate. Alleviate is a special move that works a bit differently than basic moves. Basic moves will all trigger when something is described in the fiction. While there is somewhat true for Alleviate, what triggers it is in a buildup of emotion, which is represented by emotional spike bubbles next to each state. When a PC marks the 5th bubble in an emotional, all modifiers change to the state of +1 to that one and -2 to all others. In addition, the player chooses one of the following when another move is triggered. So, to keep using the motion in which the character spikes, that state is decreased by 1 and all motion spikes have been removed. Let me go to the choices. Okay. To use a different state at -2, if they do that, they may erase all emotional spikes in the spiked out state. They must still mark an emotional spike in the state they just used. So basically, take a hit at the -2s to remove the spike. And explain how your character's doing it in a way that, okay, say you spiked out on mad and you're now using peace because you're composing your shit because you just saw some horrible slow motion scene play out before you where you're realizing, okay, I just lost my shit where I blasted my gun on full automatic and killed a bunch of people and now I'm in peace. I find my zen moment in the chaos.
And my catharsis.
Yes.
Where is the playbook move?
So these are your playbook moves, I think. Yes. So these are regular moves, and these are your playbook moves.
Which are the playbook moves?
The second page.
These moves?
Yeah, there you go.
Oh.
It should be on the left-hand side. They're things that pretty much it's just your shtick.
Basic moves.
Let me see what sheet you're looking at. Okay, it's that one. On the left-hand, right-hand side. Sorry.
The moves.
Yeah.
Moves. Okay.
Yeah, those are your specific moves.
Okay.
That's your jam right there.
Okay. And how many of these do I get?
You should get all of them.
It says, like, choose
If
one.
there's
choose 3 to
choices.
5.
Yeah. Basically, you start on this part and move your way because some characters get all of them. Some have to pick some.
Okay, great. I'm sorry.
Oh, no problem.
Good deal.
We're learning a new thing.
Like a mobster.
Ooh.
And I'm looking for my notes. Any Ghost in the Machine fans, by the way? Okay. So you'll get a lot of the references up there because I was going to use Ghost in the Machine speak. Because it's always the easiest reference.
I thought that said geisha hotness.
Geisha hostess.
Hostesses.
Oh, you're picking your Geary?
Yeah.
So at your temple, it is the only
Oh,
port
this
of
is my
authority.
temple?
Yeah, basically, you're an enforcer for the institute organization that upholds Geary. When someone needs debts owed to be taken care of, the place that you work at is unique because choose one. Okay, so it's the only authority. Cool. And then it is revered because of this. You chose, it's a tradition. And then choose 3 to 5 of the surroundings and atmosphere. So basically, it's what's going on there at your temple. This is what people see when they go there. It can also be a sex can be one of the choices, but
Yeah, no, I wasn't reading that right.
yeah. I'm like, you're gonna have a geisha hostess there at the temple.
I know.
No.
Like, what?
As you do.
Our hostess will help you get your Geary back.
Ooh. It's a special kind of Geary.
Fragrant soaps.
I am short and sinking. Okay.
Gravity's being unkind to you.
Yes.
Did you take a pillow from Fiona?
Well, not from her, except that she feels she
It was
secretly
her
owns
bed.
all the pillows. Okay.
So what is the people we're supposed to know?
Many people have come here over time, and some of them have become your chosen friends. Detail 3 of them with a name and a role.
Okay.
So basically, So you would put a block, My Guardian, Trinity, Epoch, SyFy, and then you can fill one. You can create one if you like.
Oh, okay.
So basically, these are people that you know. So you're basically making NPCs in the world.
Oh, okay.
And there should be some ones for your teammates as well.
So on power, I just pick one of these that I like and I flesh it out, or
basically, yeah, you just read those. It's basically giving you how-tos, and then you would just write down a couple that you like.
okay.
It's giving you a bunch of good examples, huh?
Okay. So they're all major characters. Epoch, Switch, SyFy, Trinity.
Mm-hmm.
From the major.
Pretty much. I mean, like when you play Dungeon World, it has a bunch of pre-named people already, and that way it's saving the GM having to write up anything in advance. It's literally every time you've got a couple of the different games, the player's handbooks already has, sort of like, remember when we played Mutant Year 1, Year 0, where it had those certain people already pre-established in character sheets? Because they do the playbook that way, that style too. So you know that, like, this same named person is a douchebag in every character sheet.
Gotcha. There's no mouse. That's the best. Or Lincoln Zelda. So can I name all these people I know? Just make them up.
If you want.
Okay.
How you doing?
I have no idea what I'm doing.
You're making selections. You're doing great. Okay, how about...
I think I...
So you get to pick one of these. Well, everything in this area. So you can either get +1 to Mads, +1 to your stat, or you can get a new playbook move, or you can erase a Geary that you're owed, or you can get more... a move from another playbook, which I would ignore that because that'll just complicate things.
So you wouldn't do the new move?
I wouldn't do the new move myself.
Well, what would you recommend for
I
my
would
character?
say increase one of your weakest stats.
Okay.
That's just me. Like, get rid of your -1 for stat.
Yeah, I was about to say.
So if you check the +1 stat, it makes you an even 0. It just meant that you took some therapy to get over that the kitten that you lost is a little empath girl.
Poor child. See, I brought all these dice. Just prepared.
Good.
Prepared.
I
Bring
didn't
all
bring
the
any
D6.
dice.
Oh, do you want yellow?
Yeah, I don't mind. Thank you.
Okay, on contracts, it's got these 1 cred, 2 cred next to them. Is that the cred I have to get those? Or is that the cred I get for having those?
Okay. Paying contracts. Okay, that's basically the payout that you would get for the contracts.
Okay.
So it's to give you an idea when you do mandatory contracts on the bottom.
Okay.
It basically you get to pick.
Okay.
So what do we do for gear?
You pick a primary weapon and you pick a secondary weapon.
What's a particle blade?
Basically an energy weapon.
It's
Energy
like
knife.
Deep Space.
Mm-hmm. And then, of course, I'd say, I don't know, you tell me what a particle blade is.
I don't think I've ever screamed more in my life.
It's a vibroblade.
Okay. Sound is energy. Mm-hmm.
But then what do I do for this?
That
The
game is
moves.
all about jump scares.
That game is the...
Well, these are... So, you get the absorb move and choose one more. So pick one of those choices and X the box. So do you want to... Sling, ease, search feelings, charged objects, hooked on a feeling. Wow.
Fireworks, I believe. Or Was like Golda the one that's like, what's the rule about gunshots?
Yes.
Call the police.
That's a good rule.
Because see, gunshots echo, fireworks you don't.
Oh, I don't know. I've never fired a gun.
Never?
No, I have no reason to. Why do I need a gun?
Let's get her to the range. Joclyne, tell her why she needs to shoot a gun.
Because shooting clay pigeons is awesome fun. Okay. I mean, I'm not against it. I just never.
So I always found like going to the range very boring, frankly, when it was just target shooting at his standing target. I'm like, yeah, I know the business ends now. That was fun. Thanks. I feel
like point it and shoot.
But then, my cousin took me clay pigeon shooting over Thanksgiving with a big old beautiful shotgun. It was an antique. It was lovely, and so fun. And it was like, you know, all of my experience from video gaming finally had a real world outlet. And I could, like, my cousin and his friends were so impressed because I hit my very first clay pigeon, you know, like on the first try. And I pretty much hit everything until the gun wasn't really sized quite right for me. So, well, let me say this about the gun. Of the guns they had, it was the one that I could stick into the proper spot,
shoulder,
and actually still target with the gun. Everything else I could never get it lined up so that I could use the target on the gun to properly focus on the flying pigeon. The problem with the gun was it was the longest one they had, and so it kept slipping from my shoulder into this part of my arm. Mm-hmm. So after a while, this part of my arm was excruciatingly painful, and I was like, I can't. And they're like, come on, do some more. I'm like, I'm kind of tired. They're like, come on, do some more. And, you know, I hated to disappoint them. So I tried shooting some more, but at that point, I couldn't really aim for shit because my arm was so tired. Mm-hmm. And then I took off my shirt at the end, and I had this massive bruise, like big, from the gun. But up until that point, I had a great time. It was like, obviously I wasn't in a video game, but it put those, you know, tracking and targeting skills from years of video gaming to work. Plus, felt really great being the chick there in the dress and the skirt and the nice shoes and all coordinated and looking super sassy and being like, kapow! There goes another clay pigeon, motherfuckers!
And I love how her face lights up when she says that.
It was super fun! I loved it. It appealed to all of my type A personality, where I like to be really successful and do things. It was cathartic because I made shit blow up. And yet, I wasn't killing actual animals, so I had absolutely no ethical problems, because it's just clay pigeons. Mm-hmm. So that was cool. Not that I mind eating animals, but, you know, just killing animals I'm not going to eat seems like it's not ethical. So then I get into this conundrum, like, I'm filling up pigeons with buckshot. Am I going to eat that pigeon? I don't know.
Squab?
I only like squab in Scotland. So, but yeah, that's why you should shoot clay pigeons.
See, we should do another range day.
With clay pigeons.
Everything's better with clay pigeons.
Moving targets are the best. Mm-hmm. There is no fun in a target that stands still.
After the second or third magazine, it can still be fun.
No. I have actually, I have to tell you, I've gone and shot at standing still targets a lot, and I actually find it dreadfully dull. Even after a few, well, especially, actually, after a few magazines, I'm like, yep, I hit the target again. Well, can we do anything else? It's just like, you know,
But a moving target is always dynamic. Something different happens every time, and you have to pay attention to the wind and the topography of the land and all the way the sun is shining. And it's super fucking exciting. Yeah, my cousin got me hooked.
And that's why I have to shoot.
Yes.
Hey, I used to love that old game Duck Hunt.
And everyone shot the dog.
Oh,
Too bad it never counted.
I didn't shoot the dog.
So is a SHAKU, is that a kind of like knife thing on the weapons? I'm trying to think of what a like prissy executive might carry.
I know, see, that's what I was thinking.
Like a sawed-off shotgun does not seem right.
I know, that's why I went with
let's
the
look
particle
that up, 'cause
blade
I
and
don't...
Dermalink Neuronet Palm Disruptor.
Yeah.
That sounds badass.
Yeah,
Yes, it does.
it does sound badass.
As my phone's going crazy and trying to do 20 things at once.
As they do.
Let's see what a shaku looks like. It's a ritual baton. Okay.
Okay.
That might do just the trick.
It's a ritual tablet or flat scepter of Chinese origin, which is used in Japanese and...
Looks like a little cricket bat.
Hey, let's see if this thing's got a picture. We want images. Okay.
Wow.
Apparently there must be some...
Use that for a weapon.
There must be some lady model with the name Shaku, because...
Model is the...
Is she
Aha!
people?
Loosely.
Okay, those are nunchucks. Ah, here we go. It's a paddle.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like a cricket bat.
See, that's what I said.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
I
Well,
see.
I was agreeing with you.
So it would go best with fetish wear.
And oddly enough, this lady who comes up for the first 3 or 4 pages,
Little naked Japanese woman.
she must have the same name.
Apparently, or be very good with it.
It can be referred to as Shaku sword or Shaku baton. Oh, her last name is Shaku.
Okay.
Yumiko Shaku. On the free social...
What? Hidden garotedom.
She has like huge eyes.
As you do, apparently.
I mean, she's like enemy girl.
Or it could be really good makeup.
True. Or Photoshop.
Or any number of things, including genetically large eyes. I will take my sheet back.
Everything you're fixed over.
I should probably do that.
Thank you.
One
So,
trade weapon engraved with your symbol.
It is 7:02.
I guess I'll go with the ornate shaku.
And you'll just paddle anyone who messes with you.
I will beat them upside the head.
So I get one trade weapon and one backup.
Mm-hmm.
I like how the description for the thermal shell launcher is messy.
Messy. Shoots some kind of horrible shot. That's messy.
What's the AP?
Armor piercing?
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's do that in a mech world. That sounds...
You're like, yeah, let's not worry about things like, armor.
like my laser rifle and Pathfinder.
Interface is like an interface with the veil.
Yeah.
What's the... It's like a
Little cyberjack dealio.
Gotcha.
Yeah, pretty much in the world of the Veil, everybody's got the interface, so you're all partly jacked into the Matrix, so to speak, all the time. So when you're looking at things, you could be looking at, say, a kid spray painting the phone scanner boxes, little binary box. He's spray painting that, but because your eyes are seeing that and you're connected to the Veil, it's some, crazy pop-up graffiti
It's
cool
little
thing.
QR codes.
Exactly.
Gotcha.
Right.
And everybody's living half in the Veil, half out of the Veil, sometimes too much in the Veil.
So you just get negative tags with your cybernetics?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
That's the second.
So, do we have to have cybernetics?
What does your character say? I think you do on yours. I think everybody here actually does.
I think we all have to.
I forgot like a million.
Well, everybody has to start out.
Where does it say?
You can start out with as many as you want, right?
Yeah.
Or at least my character can.
Yeah, some of you can go more crazy than the others.
So I don't know. So these I have to pick a bunch of negative.
So
Like
your
I have
cybernetics.
3.
You begin with whatever cybernetics you so choose. For each piece you choose, assign the appropriate number of tags of reference below. So you have cybernetic eyes. You would take 3 tags off the list there. So for your eyes, I'll pull up the list real quick. It's pretty much you can make up, like say you give yourself the tag of night vision, or magnification, or thermal vision. Okay. So your cybernetic eyes have those tags, but for each one you give a negative aspect to that as well. Usually based on what your setup is. Because for you, like yours are usually like secondhand stuff. So you got scarred, you've got twitchy, unreliable, damaged, susceptible. Do you have any negative tags for yours?
I do. I have damaging, unreliable, susceptible, twitchy, scarred, addicted, and make your own.
Oh, there you go.
Make your own.
So what are the good tags?
Well, what tags would you like your cybernetics to have?
Oh. Damagey stuff?
Damagey stuff?
Well, so the negative tags are things that are bad for you.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you can pick good ones.
Oh, you can put good ones up there.
On the line when it has the cybernetics, it says 3 tags. So you'd
like,
basically make up 3 tags for your cybernetics. Let me give you some examples.
So if I pick like bionic eyes, then I have to have 3 things wrong with them.
Well, no,
you get 3 things that they can do.
And then one of those. You pick one of those.
Oh.
So, like, your eyes could be, you could have the infrared, you could have the night vision, and you could have...
So here's an idea for you. So, like, cybernetic eyes. An iris that can shift to view different forms of light in order to spot people, magnify, and record what it sees. The 3 tags would be written down as multispectrum, magnification, and recording. And basically, you guys can come up with whatever combination you want for yours. Like, you could go with targeting. Maybe you have automatic crosshairs in your eye. Ears could be used as an example of having dampening, amplification, and interception. If you can hear other broadcasts on different frequencies, hear across further distances, and auto-dull sound in case of explosions or other loud noises. Arms. An arm can look completely normal, but that housed a compartment within it would have the storage tag. So pretty much you guys can spitball whatever combination you want.
But it can look completely normal.
Can I have General Grievous arms?
You can actually have, say your cybernetics are 2nd pair of arms. There's actually a cool picture in here of a guy that's got the 2nd set of arms.
So an interface is a connection to the veil. Mm-hmm. And so a tag like aware means that I am more aware of my environments. I'm making these up of my positive tags.
Yeah, let me see what for interface, 2 tags. If you want to be able to pilot a remote plane, do other things at the same time that can require your attention, your interface would need to have both remote tag and multitasking tag. Yeah. So you could do that.
I like
awareness.
I like
maybe the awareness lets you know that you sense that there's things.
What is multitask?
It means that you can run like 2 machines at once.
Is this one of the
if you took
interface?
Remote and multitask, you could actually be sitting there having a conversation while I'm actually driving a drone outside the window with a gun on it, pointed at you.
All right, good deal. Trying to power through this.
So you'll give me a 2nd pair of arms.
You could go for that.
Does that mean I have 2 weapons?
Well, you have the weapons that you have, which means you could probably use more than one weapon. And of course, there's a huge slew of suggestions for tags. They've got, for ranged items, you have area, auto fire, close, far, further, hand close, intimate hand. Drawback, you can have loud, messy, reload, indiscreet. I love that. Messy. Causes severe damage. It cannot be aimed for precise shots or work.
What's that advantageous?
Advantageous, you have N armor, so every time the tag is chosen, it means that it will block 1 harm from each time it's... So you could actually...
So for
for, like,
interface,
chess?
multitasking
Yeah, for
is
chess
one
you
of
could
the
go
things
with
that you
N
could do with
armor,
it, but what's
so
something
that would
else you
block
could do with
1.
it?
Well, he was saying remote, so you could control something that's
Wi-Fi, basically.
Oh,
away
okay.
from you. I picked one that I called
Is this-
Aware, where I'm
What body part is this? Any?
These are
Aware
basically
of
just tags
more
in
of
general.
the stuff going on.
So, like, if I
around.
did the silence tag,
in
I'd
the
be all
veil.
salty?
Well, what
One
are
I
you
was
using it on?
thinking of was
On my
like
legs?
network.
On your legs? Okay, maybe it means you're quieter when you walk.
Connect.
You have
like,
sound
more
dampening systems on your legs.
networks.
You tell me.
I think that would help with my garroting.
Okay.
You
Since
could
you went for the Garrett.
have one like. maybe
I know when I read that, I'm like,
contacts
Brittany's
that
going to be
allows
happy
you
with
to
it. I was talking to Kelly on that.
Connect better with other people.
So, can I do a silence tag?
And then there's the tech tags, which is multi-spectrum, amplification, communication, magnification, camouflage. You could do Ghost in the Machine body camouflage. All of a sudden you slip off
I'm
all your
thinking
clothes.
about like all the things
Would
I
that
could do with my
be-
cell phone if it were embedded in my head.
Chest?
So you have the stealth skin.
So I can do silence leg and camouflage chest
Yeah.
and be, like, gone.
You'd be like zip, and there's just this bodysuit left
I'm going to
behind.
plant a worm. Everything.
There's storage, there's remote.
Can that work under
There's, like,
interface?
millions
For
of
what?
dollars in here.
Worm.
So what does your worm do?
It steals like fractions of cents and puts it into a.
Well, maybe if you went with the crazy computer guy, yeah.
What do you mean crazy?
There's a class that's all about the computers. It was the other one that Jocelyn was looking
What's
at.
the other
Yeah,
multitasking?
the architect.
For multitask. Able to perform more than one task at any given time, which that one's like crazy useful. There's encrypted. There's compensating.
What is compensating?
Encrypted is difficult to access without the proper password. Compensating helps to correct for human error, could remove recoil or compensation for a person's heartbeat, for example.
So, like, if you're ranged, that'd probably be useful.
Hmm?
If you're ranged.
So like you're a sniper, so you have compensation, so you're not doing the infinity
I
thing.
kind of like the encrypted. That
Encrypted's
means
good.
you hard to hack.
Yeah.
And I think I'll go with that.
Then there's implanted. There's jamming, capable of preventing any incoming or outgoing specified signal. Notice it says specified. Thermographic, responsive.
With the multi-frequency, that could mess you up, though. If you receive a frequency.
And detachable, can be removed from its housing. And then, of course, they give custom tech examples. Facial hair dart system. Basically, one of your hairs is a poison dart.
That's gross.
Can
What's a bird?
you have the same negative tag for
Multiple
like,
things?
Yeah.
Just gonna twitch all over the place.
Yeah, actually.
She's hardwired. She's like in Johnny Mnemonic. So, BIRD, biosynthetic information relay device, a communication system through the bloodstream and other organic substances that relies pertinent information to other team members, vitals, GPS, etc. Multitask interface, discrete interception communication. So basically, the BIRD is all of those things together. So basically, you guys are constantly getting your bio readings of each other.
That'd be helpful. Do we all need that, or
Well, if everyone's going to use it.
Which one is that?
A BIRD. It's biosynthetic information relay device. Basically, like in Aliens, remember when they'd see the soldiers and their their metrics? You could all automatically know each other's vitals.
Okay, and where would we?
Yeah, what slot does that go in?
You tell me what slot you put it in. This is the way the free form style. You can put it.
Probably the
Usually, interface is the
yeah.
one you go for.
Well, there's not really like a healing class, is there? Like, should we heal each
Or
other?
that could fall under I
In
would think.
in
'cause you're
theory, you
using
guys
I to
recover
scan.
from damage and stuff fairly quick and easy, as opposed to the guys that like go right there.
Well, we're not gonna split the party, so I don't think
Okay.
We'll
we know better.
This is a one-off anyway, so
Yeah.
I'm just gonna.
So you don't have to be scared. Because basically the negative tags I'll use in case, you do a roll and you roll poorly. I'll be like, so, what's your negative tag there?
Ooh, I can have recording eyes and blackmail.
There you go. I recorded your Geary.
Yeah, because I was thinking for eye, I could do bird, multi-spectrum. Not sure what to do for the next
I
one.
did magnifying and like ciphers so I can decode stuff and then record. What should ear be? So my arm, I can just say double arms.
Hmm?
And then I'll number these. Ooh, what can I be addicted to? Do I have one ear modifiers?
Do you want dampening system when you're shooting that big damn gun of yours?
I don't have a gun.
You didn't go for the messy gun?
No, I went for the sword.
Oh.
The sword and the garrote. You do long distance hearing. What were the other hearing ones that were cool?
I heard that.
Can I do like any language?
Translator.
Babblefish?
Babblefish.
That's cool. What's like another one that would be cool?
Well, see, the nice thing is you do have the, see, there's the forearms.
Can I have like diagnostic for hearing? Like I can hear a machine and know what's wrong with it?
Okay.
Is there a separate record for hearing?
Then
for,
eyes?
Yeah, because the eyes, I assume, just does
Just
video.
visual.
I'll do a second record then. That's
That was
smart.
the yeah, because I was doing record for both because otherwise.
Double arms.
Oh.
I like the way she said that. What is that? She's smiling too. I'm
Oh,
scared.
I have another interface. What should our interface be?
So into not only just to dampen, what is it? Is it boost or something? For
What,
Like a signal
amplification.
boost?
Okay, amplify.
To like listen across the room.
Okay.
Can that be part of my
Amplify.
interface? Is like a signal boost?
So we're talking like for hearing or.
Yeah.
I have one more in interface.
Well, hello.
So
Miss
do you want to
Fiona.
go say remote control, remote, or for if you're boosting, what kind of boost are you boosting? Just did the range. Oh, evil giggles over there across the table.
Is this when I'm plugged in or you're always interface?
Pretty much with the veil, you're constantly connected. Everybody's wired in.
I want an offline.
An off switch for your interface. Oh, that's a good one. Someone cannot hack your brain.
I have a detachable eye
Very cool.
that records and can be operated
That's
remotely.
from
Oh.
the thing.
She's gonna be a nasty one. That's how she got ahead in the corporation.
Maybe could be the case. Well,
I can just see her pluck it out and roll it under a door.
I might have read a story recently for Steampunk Book Club that had that feature in it.
Oh, are
I
you
thought it was
jealous that I
cool.
was petting Fiona and now?
Yes.
I'm gonna say I'm
He
addicted
needs his
to
loves
the
now.
offline.
You're addicted to having the internet turned off.
It's like Tokyo Ghost.
Yeah.
Tokyo Ghoul. Tokyo Ghost.
Ghoul. Isn't it ghoul?
Tokyo Ghost is where everybody's like all high tech and like addicted to all their gadgets,
Mhm.
and there's like
And just getting offline is the thing.
well, there's only a couple people that actually are, and they like are super anti-electronics. That's a very good read.
Okay. So did we have to spell out what our addicted thing is? I just assumed it was addicted to the veil.
Okay. You're addicted to being on the internet?
Yeah.
It's all about the constant
made-
amounts of information.
I'm also sometimes
say-
distracted.
I just made mine unreliable and twitchy.
Do we only pick one, or we pick?
Well, you
Well,
pick one
different
for
ones
each.
I picked unreliable.
She was being consistent with hers. So if something bad happens, it could just be, hey, it's unreliable, turn it off.
Mm-hmm.
Or she's twitching for some reason. She must be doing something on the internet. It's her empath thing. She's just being twitchy empath. So which empath power did you take?
For the flow,
Uh-huh.
I took it armors me. So long as you wear nothing else, you have no other armor.
Uh-huh.
You have one armor. If you have armor, use that instead.
What about for your move on your...
I went with sling. Spike out an emotion if you're choosing of your choosing and all those present. Exclude someone from your sling. Avoid suspicion or notice. Inflict 1 harm. Area close AP to anyone around you.
Damn.
I chose an offensive one.
You went Mind Melter on him.
Yeah. And I figure, you know what? In emotion. You trust me.
Oh, hey, that's an
I
emotion.
feel very peaceful. I'm not suspicious at all.
That's awesome.
That sounds super suspicious.
I feel like I can trust you.
So I have all these to begin with?
Check, 'cause some of them start with a pick one from the below. So you get the honor and boom move, so you get this and this. And then choose one more. So you just get one of those.
Just like me
Yeah.
money.
Yes. Apparently.
She's
What do you
just
think,
like
Cake?
super trusting.
Exactly. This makes her such a good saleswoman.
It's just think you have their best
I
interest in
think
mind.
this luxury vehicle was made for you. Suppress the...
Suppress it all.
Suppress the worry and anxiousness of spending that much money. Give me my commission.
You know, in the long run, it's not that much money.
Because my character's very selfish.
Wow.
Good.
She is.
She went with a selfish empath.
I did. Well, because my,
I am the commission you want to make.
yeah, no, what was the... Where's the background? Oh, I look out for number 1. People always leave.
Ooh.
That's my burden.
Damn.
I thought it fit well with my whole luxury salesperson and my 3 beliefs. Everything is for sale for the right price. Keep calm and carry on, and everyone is entitled to my opinion.
Oh, good.
Oh, wow.
My 3 beliefs. Gaining power provides protection. A calm demeanor controls the encounter. And money is but a means to power.
Ooh.
You and I will get along.
We should be
She's
fine.
a
Actually,
dangerous suit.
Oh, we'll get along quite well.
You know, we'll use
As
each
long as
other to
we're...
our
Yeah,
own
exactly! And not feel guilty about it at all.
As long
It's
as your
just
agendas
business.
overlap.
Yeah. It's just good business.
Here you
I have
go.
a couple of them.
Huh?
Oh, I have one that's poverty is laziness.
Oh.
Oh my
So
God.
you guys are going to be like super sensitive to the common man?
What?
No, I have cleansed the city by eliminating the weak.
Wow, we're
Good.
really kind of dark group. We're super friendly. Yay!
Everyone can take care of themselves. Some choose not to.
Oh, yeah, that's a little better.
Dark and gritty cyberpunk.
Well, yeah.
We went full Blade Runner,
Help comes
apparently.
to those who help themselves.
I'm not sure we're as cheerful as Blade Runner.
That's true. The synthetics were really funny.
Yes.
We're going to die eventually.
Let's have some
Well,
fun.
we're certainly not hacktivists.
Nope. No. Well, I mean, once I checked out the executive, I was like,
What are the
no.
holds? What is this like? 2 hold, 3 hold.
For which things?
All of them.
The archetypes would have been a juicy character to play to, but this will work for tonight's adventures.
I know. I was leaning towards either empath.
So you would spend your hold 1 for 1 when
what was
actively
the
on
first one,
the hunt for them.
Or the
So basically, when you
look it up.
Like
assimilate the information
That
you
might
have
have been
available
the
on a
architect.
target,
No,
if
no,
you
Architect
roll
was the second one. It was
10 plus, you get 2, so double.
one where your
So basically,
consciousness-
while you're hunting, you have
Oh,
2 plus
Seeker,
1s.
maybe?
You can
No,
roll
no,
down
it
to.
was.
Oh, that is.
Yeah, that's what that is. It's different ones have different uses of it.
Here.
Like for this one, when you get intimidate with a target in order to read
So
them roll,
the apparatus
if you get 3, you get 3
is
holes.
shrouded in questions.
And then you
doesn't
can ask
know
one
how
of these
it
questions
came
for
into
each
the
hold.
world and does not have a clear picture of who
Yeah,
the
I
enemy.
almost went
Yeah,
with
hold
that.
is basically just like extra successes, how they verb it. And each
yes.
power
and
lets you
Architect
translate it
was
in different
my third
ways.
choice.
Architect sounded good.
What is
The attached sounded
which
like
one?
hard to go with
Skills.
it without knowing the game better.
Yeah.
The Catabalist
cool?
could be great, could be really horrific. Again, I want to know the game better.
The feeders.
The Dying sounded very angsty.
Kelly was immediately like, nope, stop telling me about that one.
Undone. Nope.
So I
What,
thought
Fiona? I heard that.
the executive would be a good.
Yeah. We watched the TV show Incorporated.
Yeah, which
Yeah,
is
it
got a
reminded
good
me of
solid
that.
cyberpunk feel. Incorporated super high
Yeah,
tech.
they all like send your cell phones in your hand.
Oh,
Yeah.
Just activate it. It's really cool.
yeah, real
High
And the
tech,
mere
really
fact
cool
that
tech.
they've got a spray that like fixes massive injuries instantly,
Ooh.
like the
surface injuries.
Yeah.
It just knits.
well, they had the nanobots they pour into open.
Yeah, they
wounds.
have a
like
that
a little.
help keep the sutures. They're nano sutures.
So they when they're opening you up, they just literally just pour this black goop in, and it fills you up and stitches you up.
That's what you call a fart injury.
Oh my gosh.
At least you'll have to ask Kunagunda.
Yes. Yes, indeed.
Yeah.
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 Mine sister.
Did you see my my Heidi hairdo I did?
Mm-mm.
That was cute.
With the braids.
Braid my hair to save my life.
Yodelay-hoo.
Oh well. I just want to look at it. Just let me look at the picture. It's my picture. Let me look at it.
Okay, well, it's 7:30. We're gonna have to.
Yeah, we
Yep.
should do our.
So you guys ready?
Yes.
Okay, so want to take turns describing your character to each other so we know.
Oh, it's fabulous.
And that's a great place to wrap it up there.
On the battlefield, I'm a warrior, ready to kill or be killed. I've defeated orcs from the north, sent Kandorian demon spawns back to the depths, and drank with Cimmerian heroes. But when I get back from a hard day of disemboweling my enemies, I enjoy nothing more than to open my castle doors and find a dungeon crate as my reward for blood well spilled. Designed for role players and tabletop gamers, Dungeon Crate is a monthly subscription box service with a treasure hoard of loot you can use on or off the battlefield. Miniatures, dice, tokens, coins, maps, modules, terrain pieces, handcrafted items, RPG jewelry, and more are yours for only a few gold per month. You even get a digital crate along with a physical one as an added bonus. So what say you? Are you ready for postal glory? Oh boy. DungeonCrate.com. Let the adventure begin.
Thank you for listening to the Creative Play and Podcast Network. And feel free to enjoy our other shows, such as D&D Journey of the 5th Edition and Scion Ragnarok and Roll, a Scion hero to Ragnarok story. Thank you for listening.